resonates with. Doesn't matter if you're a creative, doesn't matter if you're a freelancer, a career professional, a business owner, a founder, wherever you are at. I think working smart is the most important thing, because I feel like at the end of the day, we all work so hard, but what can we show for working so hard? So we'll find out today which is better, working smarter or working harder. So just to set the ball rolling, tell me on the comment section, how have you been working? Have you been working smarter recently, or you have been working harder? Right? There's no shame in either of the responses, right? We're hoping that this session will, open the rest of us up to what should be done and what should be done better. So if you're working harder, you've been working harder recently, tell us. Maybe you're working longer hours now. If you're working smarter, you're working shorter hours, having more productivity. Tell us in the comment section. And also tell us where you're joining in from. Very important. You tell us your name. Hi, my name is Anita. I'm joining in from Nigeria, or wherever you're joining in from. And I work harder, or I work smarter. Okay. Fantastic. All right. So you also confirm with me that you can see my screen, right? As soon as you say, tell me on the oh, thank you very much. All right. So like I said, we're looking at, okay, I am Anne joining from Abuja. Anne, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. So tell us, as soon as you join in, tell us your name, where you're joining from, and if possible, tell us if you are a hard worker or a smart worker, right? Both have results at the end of the day. Okay, so like I said, we're looking at work smarter, not harder. I'm doing both at this time, harder and smart. Fantastic. I love a good combination. I love that. All right, so my name is Gare Oke-Eriemo. I am the founder at Craft and Skill Network Limited. Okay, I see Nzezi. I hope I'm pronouncing it well. I'm joining in from Kenya. I'm a smart worker. Okay, smart worker. Good to have you. All right. So like I said, this particular topic resonates with every discipline, whether you're a creative, you're a founder, you're a freelancer, a business person, a career professional. It's always important, to do work the right way, right? So you can have the right results. Okay. So the new competitive advantage. So in the world moving at a breakneck speed, so the way the world is moving is so fast, you think you know something right now, you think what you know is enough, and in a twinkle of an eye you see something bigger, greater than what you even expected. So success isn't measured by the hours you clock in, right? And this goes both ways, whether you're working harder or working smarter, time is going into it, but that's not what success is measured by. It's about the impact you create, right? I believe that if you were to have a company, you have staffs, you're not going to rate them by how many hours they stay in the office. You rate them by the work that they actually do, right? So the smartest professionals aren't grinding longer, they are leveraging systems, tools, and technology to amplify their genius. So I believe that from this session, every single one of us becomes not just a hard worker alone, we can be like Anna, but the hard worker and the smart worker. So we become smart professionals, smart business owners, smart creatives, smart freelancers, right? That are leveraging systems, tools, and technology to amplify your genius. So you get to learn about the good number of technology as well as systems that are put in place to help you work smarter and be more productive. Some you've heard of before, so you're going to be hearing of for the very first time. So working smarter means building leverage into everything that you do, so your efforts compound rather than just accumulate. It's something that we often tell business owners, right? Because like Craft and Scale is more of a business consulting firm out of sorts. So we tell them, if your business cannot thrive or function when you are asleep or when you're not available, then it's a job, it's not yet a business. So in similitude, you're working smarter when there are things that are going on without you having to make a move, right? And that's what we're hoping to achieve with today's session. So I want this to be as interactive as possible. When we get to a segment that resonates with you, when you're creative, we'll get to the creative segment. Tell us some tools that may be different from what we have recorded here. So becomes of benefit to every other person on the call. If you are a freelancer, you can share more tools beyond the ones that I've shared and even the systems. So let's keep the chat box buzzing. The burnout epidemic. I saw a snap from a friend yesterday. He said everybody seems to be going through something, right? That it seems like an overwhelming season for everyone. And it's important that you speak to someone, right? Or you be a source of help, to someone that wants to communicate. And it made so much sense because it seems like we're doing so much these days. Even if you're working smarter, it's still a good amount of work at the end of the day. So there's what we call the burnout epidemic, right? Endless hours, 60 plus hour work weeks becoming the new norm. Everybody's saying, oh, can I get more hours? Can I cut down sleep? Can I cut down social media time so I can have more hours to work without, with diminishing returns on productivity? Meaning the more you're even working, the more the lesser your productivity is becoming, right? Diminishing return means that the more you do a particular thing, it's supposed to bring more, but it starts to reduce. That's what it means, basically. So we're seeing diminishing returns on productivity and creativity. People are not as smart as they used to be. They're not churning out creative ideas like they used to, and they imagine that will have not been the case because they're working longer hours, right? People are moving from the 9 to 5, stretching. So maybe you have a 9 to 5, you get back, you probably rest, you get home maybe 6, 7, and you're resting till like 9, and you're picking up work again, and you're going to bed maybe around 12 or 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. you're already up and preparing to go to work again. You would think that because you're working longer hours, right, it means more productivity, more creativity, but unfortunately, that's not the case. Then we talk about repetitive tasks. So you're spending 40% of your time on manual, repetitive work that can be automated and streamlined. Because you have longer hours, you don't have the time to now think properly. So you're just doing things as they come. So you find yourself spending so much more time doing what you would have naturally done by, either automating the process or streamlining it, making it easier, or making it easier generally for someone to even jump in. With the current workflow that you have, so it's a question to everyone. With the current workflow that you have, can someone step into your shoes in a day and do things effectively? Meaning, have you put systems in place? Have you automated things that someone can just come in and say, oh, I can take let me see who else is on the call. I can take, because I like working with everybody on the team. I can take Anne's laptop and do, to a certain degree, Anne's tax for the day, right? Do I even know Anne's tax for the day? Who else on the call? Do I see is Purity's tasks? I should pen them down. I should pen them down. I should pen the tasks for the week. How do I assess them? So at the end of the day, it seems like no one can step into our shoes and even assist us because there is no system, right? And while we're not available, there is no work being done because we have no automated processes. There's context switching. So constantly jumping between tools, apps, and tasks, losing 23 minutes of a focus each time. Why? Because you're not working smarter. So we see ourselves 1 minute you're trying to just maybe work on a Google Doc, right? And then a notification comes from your WhatsApp, right? It's a meeting notification, and then you're checking the group that maybe the work place you're working in, you're checking it, you're seeing notification. While you're at, they say, oh, check your email, you're going to your email. It seems like you don't have a strategic way for doing things. I'll give an example. I, for one, don't have notifications on my WhatsApp that, for calls. You can't call me during the daytime, right? My calls doesn't even pop up on my WhatsApp. The best I can get is a reaction to my story, right? My phone is always on DND from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Standard 9 to 5. Even though I don't do a 9 to 5, I just feel since different people my space on 9 to 5, and I can't call them when they're in the office space, then they shouldn't call me at the time. But it's a system, right, that you leverage on to streamline. So it makes you a bit more focused. It reduces the number of distractions. We're going to look at a lot more things than just deciding to put your phone on DND or turning off some notifications. So the old playbook of work harder is broken because now it's not yielding as much. People are getting burnout. People are getting tired. People are getting depressed. People are getting sad. So it's time for a new approach that prioritizes efficiency, automation, and strategic thinking. All right. So, but what does this new approach look like for every single one of us on this call? Like I said, this is going to be segmentalized, right? There's going to be a slide for creators, going to be a slide for freelancers, going to be a slide for Business owners, wherever space you find yourself, there is a slide for you. Now, before we get into that, like, so we need to have a new mindset. For this thing to work for every single one of us, we have to first believe that there is something that we are doing currently that we shouldn't be doing, right? And there's something we're not doing at all. So from hours to impact, stop measuring success by time spent. So I work with authors as a proofreader and editor, and over time I used to say it takes me roughly 3 minutes to go over a page, right? And I would calculate, okay, so this work, it would take me this amount of hours, X amount of hours to do it. It turns out not to be the case, right? Because when I'm talking about X amount of hours, right, how many tools have I put in place to make the work seamless? Do I have to go over the work with my eyes from beginning to ending? How often do I have to, how frequently do I have to do that? So at that point, if I'm calculating time by virtue of the hours I have ascribed to the number of pages, I'm not achieving so much. But when I think back, okay, what tools can I put in place? Right? Because if you're saying this, I'm giving an example of what I do now. If I'm saying it's 30 minutes for 10 pages, it's unrealistic now. Because maybe at the time it was 10 minutes without tools. I can say 3 minutes now, and other editors may not say 3 minutes because they don't have access to the same tools. Or I can be saying 3 minutes and another editor is saying 1 minute because he has access to a tool I do not have, or he has a system that I do not have. Right? So we need a mindset shift. We all have to move from looking at things from, saying success is by, oh, I work 9 to 5. So that's 8 hours, 8 times 5 working days in a week. That's 40 hours. Or I spent 40 hours on this thing today. What did you achieve? Right. So start measuring your results, right? Start measuring everything by the results you have achieved and by the value you have created. So what KPIs do you have? If you're working hard and there are no KPIs, you won't even be sure. Oh, I apologize for that. Can you hear me now? I apologize for that. The power went out and the Wi-Fi is connected to the power supply. So, okay, fantastic. All right, so start measuring by what results achieved, what the KPIs you put in place initially, right? What is the value that is created now? Because sometimes we even find it very hard to defend the work that we do with our proposed clients because we can't even give an accurate time. Why? Because there's so many outliers. As much of us, as many of us that want to be paid per hour, what results are you getting? So I learned something because of the kind of work that I do. Like I said, proofreading and editing, there are some jobs that will tell you, it's per hour, but you're not paid per hour. They have estimated how many hours it will take to do this particular work, and they will pay you on that base. So meaning if your productivity level is low, you're losing money according to the per hour ratio that they have given to you. So how productive are you? Is one thing you want to think about. So you have to also think about from manual to automated. If by now you write almost every single thing on a piece of paper, you still use sticky notes. There's no shades to sticky notes. I still have sticky notes, but if that's your only source of reminder, then there's a problem because it's a note, right? A wind can come and blow that note away wherever you stay, wherever you keep it, or wherever you stick it to. And when you have too many notes, you have too many things that are in front of you. Imagine having 6 sticky notes on this laptop screen. I'm seeing do this, I'm seeing do this, I'm seeing do this. I don't even know which one to start with because it becomes overwhelming because every single thing needs my attention. But imagine if it was something else, right? Imagine if it was a tool and the tool has been set to remind me frequently. I often tell some of my friends, so if I forget someone's birthday, I just didn't know that person's birthday initially, right? Or I didn't put a reminder for it. So when birthdays come, I can send you a text at 12 o'clock into your bed, 12 a.m. into your bed. I'm sending you a text around 12:01. And you're like, oh my God, Gary is so amazing. He remembers my birthday. Sometimes I didn't. Sometimes I had reminders that were telling me 1 week to your birthday, 1 month to your birthday, right? 2 days to your birthday. I haven't have a reminder for 30 minutes to your birthday. But then what are we going to be judging the effectiveness is? How many birthdays do I miss in a year? So is the value created, right? Is the results achieved? How many do I miss in a year? Using, using my brain to try and remember everybody's birthday, or having sticky notes to write birthdays. How do I want to even know when the month comes or the day is coming closer? So you have to move from manual to what? To automated approach. So identify repetitive tasks. What are the things you do consistently? For me, I give an example of birthday. You must always have birthdays. So you replace them with smart tools and workflows, right? So from reactive to strategic, shift from constantly, putting out fires to building systems that prevent problems. A lot of us have so much problem. We love solving problems. We're problem solvers to the core. Why solve problems when you can avoid problems? Why solve problems when you can avoid problems? It's a very fundamental question, right? Sometimes we feel bringing in technology into what we do, we feel we're smarter. Of course, to a certain degree we are, but if they help you reduce the natural amount of times you will spend on something, why you jump on it? So shit from constantly putting out fires. It's fantastic. You're a problem solver. You can put it on your CV. Problem solver. We love that. But beyond solving problems, right? Start, foresight. Be able to see problems before they even come up. So, for example, you have your Google Calendar telling you have a meeting, right, in the next 1 week. And so you know that meeting is a stand-up meeting, and you have to give feedback on some of the things you've done. What it does for you is what? Start thinking, oh, in this meeting, when I give a feedback on what I have done, what kind of questions will pop up? So let me start answering the questions now. So rather than say, oh, okay, I know I'm having a meeting coming up very soon, I'm aware, and I go to the meeting, and then they now tell you what is wrong with the report you've given when you should have easily just even seen it before time. Because why? You are not in the strategic position. You are coming from what a reactive. So you want to always say, oh, the reason why this report is not is because no. Be able to say, oh, the reason why this report is not open to, is not this, is because of this, but I have. So yes, the report seems to be incomplete, but that's not the only report I made. This is the one for the team. The official report is in my email. I would share my screen now for everyone to see it. So you know they're going to ask you for the official report because you thought about it. So don't come from a place of you solve problems, fantastic. You become smarter when you avoid problems. If your joy is that, oh, you fight, you always win every battle that you fight, right? A greater joy should be that you don't even see a battle because you prevent it. You have good conflict resolution systems that prevent battles from coming. As much as you want to be a champion on the stage, you can be a champion in your mind. You can be a champion through other means. It doesn't have to be a bloody combat. Meaning you can be known for as someone that is very productive, someone that is very smart, someone that is very agile, right? But you don't have to dirty your hands. Sincerely, there are so many ways to do things, but we will find out most of them on this session. Now, like I said, different segments. So we're looking at creative. So if you're creative on this call, as soon as I share on these tools, tell me on the comment section what other tools you're using. If possible, if you have a small brief on what the tool is, so every other person on the call can learn as well. One of the tools I'll talk about is Canva Pro, right? Of course, there's a free version. What it means for you is you're starting your business, or you're a freelancer. You want to have a logo, right? You may not have the resource to pay for someone to design a logo. You can't design one on Canva. And as it stands, there are 1,001 AI platforms that you can use to create logos, right? So brand kits, magic resize, AI power design. So some of you, rather than doing one flyer for Instagram, because Instagram size is different from that of Twitter or that of Facebook or that of LinkedIn, you use Canva Pro, do the same design and just resize. It saves you so much time. You have AI powered design suggestions. So they tell you, oh, we want to do, we have a content. You have a caption for your social media, right? But you don't have the accompanying image. You can take bits of the caption and drop it on Canva, and it can create an image that looks, in similarity to what you have penned down. Of course, not every time it's going to be perfect, but it gives you an idea for what to even design. So templates are becoming starting points, not end points. So now you're moving. As many people that have access to Figma, for example, you have access to templates before. Every single thing these days now run on templates. Of course, you want to be creative, but there are times where you have so much on your hands, right? You can't rely on starting from scratch. Innovation is two things. Innovation is building something new or building something that is old. However you choose it, it's innovation nonetheless. It doesn't have to be an invention. It doesn't have to be something new, right? It could be building from the old. So there is no shame in building, in taking a design that wasn't yours originally and editing it, because they're all licensed. They give you the license to use. You're not a thief. Use it. There's the script. Oh, you're a video editor or you're a video content creator. There's some times where you don't have to go on the internet and look for the images to back that video you want to do. Maybe you're working with a non-profit. They say we want to have a video that encapsulates every single thing that we do. We want it in 1 minute. The way they send it to you, copy that exact statement. Just go to this script and drop it there. It will curate a video for you, and you can edit the video. You can edit what? Every single aspect of that video. You can edit every single aspect of that video. There's more, right? There's the mid journey. I hope people are telling us in the chat box, or unless they're not creatives on the call, I believe they are creatives. Tell us what other tools beyond these ones so everyone can benefit as well. There's mid journey, right? Mid journey is a very excellent tool. Before you go to ChatGPT, mid journey, what mid journey does for you is that it kind of creates what's the word, like prototypes of what you actually want to do. You can create slides on mid journey. You can create pitch decks on mid journey. You can what's the word? You can copy different things simultaneously and work on it together. It's somewhat of GitHub, where GitHub is for software engineers and other people in tech, right? That you can be in Nigeria, you can be in South Africa, and working on the same project at the same time. So I'm going to drop links on how to use Descript, links on how to use Midjourney on the comment section, right? That's my way of saying, oh, I'm giving you a jump start. So you're not saying, oh, what did I take out of this session? Exactly. Thank you. Someone is vouching for Midjourney, right? So Nzezi is saying, yes, I vouch for Midjourney. You really can learn it as you work with it. It's a very seamless platform. So the link I'm sharing right now is a link for you to access Descript, how Descript works, and I'm going to drop another link for you to basically get started with Midjourney. And if I were you, I would find a way to connect with Nzezi on this call, since I don't know if it's a lady or a guy, he or she already has an experience with these tools, so it can put you through. All right. So moving on. So there's ChatGPT. Of course, it seems like the possibility of ChatGPT keeps increasing as newer builds are being released, right? So at first, you may just want you just had your regular prompts. You can get captions created for your social media. You can get storyboards. Cloud AI. Thank you very much. Ifeanyi, can you explain a bit on what Cloud AI does so people can understand what the use is for, right? So share on the comment section as a creative the tools you use and how they can benefit every single person on this call. All right. Okay, so someone's asking for you to connect. If you're on LinkedIn, I could recommend that. You could drop your LinkedIn handle, they could connect there. If you want to drop your email, fantastic. All right. So these are some of the tools, right? And like I said, they are endless. They are endless. So let's move on for sake of time. Right. Now, freelancers. So the freelancer productivity arsenal. What are you looking at? ClickUp. ClickUp again is just like, so the way you have Jira, you have Trello, you have Atlassian, right? That's how ClickUp is, but ClickUp is bigger. ClickUp kind of helps you connect different apps at the same time. So, we made mention that some of the things that causes burnout is the fact that we're jumping from different apps, right? That's what ClickUp does for you. So rather than go to these various places, you're a project manager, you want to manage your project, you want to design Gantt charts, you want to design frameworks, you want to develop work plans, you can do it there, and every single member of your team can join on board and use it. So they're automated project templates, time tracking, right? There was this tool a team of mine used before. I'm trying to remember the name. Clockify, right? So when you're starting work, you come to Clockify, you clock the time you're starting your work and the time is reading, right? I don't know if the feature is advanced now, but at the time I believe that they could monitor the screens you're on to a certain degree, although when you have the paid version anyways. So there's Clockify as well, right? So You can use AI generated task descriptions to save yourself 10 hours weekly on admin work. What you would naturally want to maybe pay an admin staff to do, you can't do on ClickUp. And of course, the very beginning when you're starting is the top stage, right? You're just getting abreast with the interface. But when you know it, it's reoccurring. It's like, for example, I meet you today, right? And the stress of having to save your birthday on my Google Calendar is once, because I'm going to put to it for it to repeat every single year. So every single year, I'm not adding your birthday. I'm never going to add your birthday again. It's already there, right? If it's a work anniversary, if it's a wedding anniversary, maybe you're the type, you're a workaholic, right? And you're so sure that you will forget that wedding anniversary. Of course, it seems like a bad thing for most people, but it's very possible. You use your Google Calendar and set a reminder. Set 1 month reminder, set 6 months. So the next day, your wife or your husband is waking up, he's just seeing flowers on the bed. Oh my God, honey, what are we celebrating? Oh, 6 months of anniversary. Oh my God, you remember? You're so thoughtful. It's a lie. Google Calendar, right? And there are many other things just like that. So there's Calendly. I love Calendly so much. I love Calendly so much. So when I started out, I was trying to, and when I was branching off from being from a 9 to 5 to being a freelance writer and editor, my mentor said, Gary, make your system look so professional, right? So when you build them any amount of money, they will say, I know it has a very good structure. She said, Gary, why are you telling someone which day are you free? Or give me your next available time? Just send them a link. They have already automated on Calendly. They will see your available days and available times. They will know that you're busy, even if you're not busy. And I'm sure it's something, as many of us that are on Upwork, we do that a lot. When we're sending proposals out, we just say that, oh, I have my hands busy on some things right now, but I'm okay to take like a 10-minute or 5-minute call on a Tuesday. It's a lie. You don't have work. But because of the system you've put in place, right? So that's what Calendly does for you, right? So automated scheduling with intelligent follow-ups. Intelligent follow-up. So you're not having to rely on, will I remember, will I forget? Nah, they're already there to remind you. For me, I have 5 reminders for almost every event. 5 reminders. There's always 1 month reminder. There's a 1 month, there's a 2 week, there's a 1 week, there's a 3 hours. So there's a 3 day, there's a 1 day. Depends on what the event is. If it's a meeting, right, I do my best to join every meeting before time, not because I'm so astute, but because I have different calendars. And the way my Zoom even works right now is Zoom is connected to my calendar. So even if it's not a Zoom meeting, my normal calendar invites, they pop up on my Zoom. So my Zoom is popping up here, my phone is popping up here, and come on, it will take someone that is sleeping to forget those kind of things. There's Grammarly Business, right? AI powered editing. Now I'll tell you something as an editor that I use. I have so many tools. If I want to change my laptop, the very first thing I would tell the person is, it's not are my documents saved, because most of them are on the drive. I would say, are my plugins saved? Right? Can I easily move them? Right? Because I have WordTune connected to my laptop. Of course, some of these platforms are paid, right? I have WordTune. I have Hemingway Writer, Hemingway Editor now, because they changed their name, Hemingway Editor. I have Grammarly, right? I even have Quillboard connected. It's a draft. Please. Can you hear me now? Thank you, Anne. All right, fantastic. So when you bring your work and I'm supposed to go through your work, I can tell you, oh, I'll get back to you next day morning. It's not because I'm reading your entire work before the next day morning. No. Nah. If I were to read your entire work and be checking for errors and see how much we go into it, I probably not do that in 1 day. But I have tools. I have lots of tools. And the ironic thing is that these tools, right, they were not originally what I call it, AI. They were not tools that would just change the words. They would just tell me, oh, you need to add a comma here, right? Do this, indent this, indent this. And I'm doing it. And I'm giving you your work back. You can check for AI, and there's no AI in the work, right? But it saves me time. So yes, when I started editing, it would take me 10 minutes to go over a page. Now it takes me 3 minutes or less. So I work faster, right? I can juggle multiple books at the same time. That's not the only thing I do, but I do a lot of things. But I can juggle proofreading and editing 3 books at the same time, give the same attention, the same productivity, the same speed. All right. Why? Because of these tools. And now some of these tools are voice oriented. Of course, your voice has to be sweet, anyways. Sometimes you may say, "Hey Siri," and Siri is wondering, "What's going on? Who's this?" I can't get what you're saying, right? So, but there are times when some of these tools are voice enabled. There's a tool I'm going to share. So, remind me, the tool I'm going to share. It's not on this slide. It's my favorite AI right now. Love it so much. If they're looking for a free brand ambassador, I'm gonna sell them any day, anytime. All right. So I'm gonna share that. So when you see me done with all the major slides, tell me, Gary, you say you're gonna share a particular tool with us. If you don't tell me, I won't share it. All right. Some of you already know this tool, anyways. Okay, so we have corporate professionals. So we've looked at that for creatives, we'll look for freelancers. Let's look at those of us that are doing a 9 to 5. Microsoft Copilot. So you're able to generate meeting summaries. When I joined this call, I thought I was late, but I realized that all the other people that were here were note takers. Note takers are coming to the meeting before me, right? And that's a norm everywhere now. So I feel like if you are on this call, you don't have a note taker, there's a problem. You can get Fireflies, it's free. Of course, it has a limited amount of use. It's free. You can get Fireflies, you can get Nota AI, you can get there's so many. There's so many, but Copilot, love Copilot. The one I'm going to tell you about, you're going to love it even more, right? And maybe I'll send my link for you to register it and use it Fireflies. Fantastic. Yes, I use Fireflies as well. And so it depends on the meeting, anyways. And so Copilot, it helps you with summaries, it drafts emails. It's a Copilot, for Christ's sake. Some of us just feel like we're so scared to make use of these things because you feel like I can make a mess. Of course, they're not perfect. You review them, but it saves you time. So you can turn 3-hour tasks to 30 minutes wins. And they're telling you, oh, you have to do a work plan in 1 week, and you're giving a work plan in 1 day. And like, how did you do it? GPT, Copilot, right? Slack workflow builder. I made a post on LinkedIn a couple of weeks back how Slack seems to be like my safe space, right? I like the fact that Slack now has it, although they've had that for a couple of years. When you call someone and the person has not yet picked the call, there's a song in the background. They need to improve on the song anyway. It sounds like a boring song, but it's a song nonetheless. At least it's better than some caller tunes, because if you're not a fan of a particular artist and you're calling someone a regular call and that is ringing, you may just want to end the call. But on Slack, the call, it takes a while and songs are playing. They even have like an AI generated image that is just depicting some certain things. You try that, right? So it helps you automate routine requests, approvals, status updates. You can create channels on Slack for yourself. Oh, reports channel. So every single report you have done, you can easily go there. You can easily add members of your team to make comments on that channel and many others. So you can create custom bots that handle common questions. Yes, on Slack, you can do that. So when a team member responds to something, you already know what would have been your response. The answers for you. Some of us that use WhatsApp or WhatsApp business, we have automations. I don't know, sometimes when you send someone a message on WhatsApp and it says, oh, hi, it's good to have you here. Today's Sunday. We can't reply to you at the moment. We'll catch you on Monday, something like that. And you think that the person just replied to you very fast. No. Automation, right? And so when you maybe you even respond something else again, and the WhatsApp is giving you another response different from what was already come, and it's not like you're wondering, is it juju? No, it's not juju. Automation, right? LinkedIn Sales Navigator AI. Now, this one is so paramount for professionals. If you're on LinkedIn and you can afford a premium account, you need to get this. Of course, if you can't afford the premium account, you optimize your account well enough to at least get some of the opportunities, right? I do LinkedIn optimization. You can do it for me online. Anyways, that is something very important. I've seen people get next level opportunities. I've seen someone get her project management certification paid. That's almost $2,000 because of connecting on LinkedIn. Why? Because she invested some money to get a premium account, so people that have her opportunities can be able to access her. Okay, you also want to know ways in which you have maximized your LinkedIn account. Oh, okay. I'll share that. Let me just give you a crash course, 1 minute crash course on LinkedIn, right? Don't accept every single connection you get. to spoil your algorithm. The connection you're receiving, right? Two things. It should either be the person should either be relating to something that you have done before, or something that you want to do, or something that you're doing now. So three things. If they don't fall in this trick, don't accept connection from your family members. You say you don't hurt their feelings, they will hurt your algorithm. That's like the major thing I can tell you, right? Don't do that. And please be consistent. The more, so there are targets on LinkedIn that says maybe, for example, 2 comments, 1 post, 2 comments, 1 repost, or 2 comments, 3 posts. Start it. The more you do it, the more the tax increase for you. When you tax increase, of course, there's reward, more reward for more tax. So when you're expanding your tax, maybe they say 3 posts a week, and then you're seeing yourself doing like 5 posts in 1 month, they expand the tax for you. And as it gets bigger, you have more visibility. Yes, but you can also send me a DM. Okay, I don't know why they are restricting your account, but we can talk about it. So my name, just the way my name is, Gare Oke-Eriemo, that's how my name is on LinkedIn. You can send me an invite or send me a message, and we'll see what we can do about that. All right, so moving on. Okay, founder and business owner essential. Now these ones, I believe you should have them if you want to be a founder, right? Because you're probably going to have products at the end of the day. So there's Zapier. It connects so many apps. I'm not sure they're really up to 5,000, but I believe that they can be more than that. So it automates everything, right? From lead capturing to invoice generation. So there's sometimes some people will say, "Oh, I'm working with a company and they want a pro forma invoice for X amount of things, and they're asking you how long will it take. You're telling them, okay, just give me to the end of the day. They ask another person, the person generates in 2 minutes, right? That's what Zapier does for you. That's AI analytics, automated reporting dashboard. So you there's something I used to do before when I was managing social media, right? I would check each post, check the impressions, check the engagement, so that I can give the summarized data, right? Because so why I do that is this: if you're working in a non-profit space, the data you get from Instagram, for example, covers the entire month or that period, but it's not specific. It can't tell you which data, which insights you got from one particular event. So in order to achieve that, I had to be going event by event and gathering this data. But things have changed. With Zoho, for example, Zoho is not here. Zoho Analytics, Zoho is cheap, right? You can afford Zoho if you don't want to go for major platforms like HubSpot, right? You can afford Zoho. It helps you schedule your posts, right? It helps you give analytics at the end of the month. So many other things that are attached there. Then there's HubSpot, like I said, for customer relationship management. So this AI-powered sales forecasting. You can look at what you did in the last month, right? Look at the products, look at the insight, and estimate. Because sometimes you ask questions that, oh, where do you see the investors who want to invest in your business, and telling you what's the projection, and you want to use your head to start calculating. And if you give us $1 million after 1 year, it will do this after 3 years. It's not backed by any data. It's just your mentality. Of course, everybody wants to be progressive, so you want to call higher numbers, but can you back it? So because when time comes and you can't defend those numbers, it'll be an issue. But that's what this platform does for you, right? It synchronizes your data from what you have done before and what you intend to do and the resources you have, and that tells you how far you can go. There's Jasper AI, right? So branding, consistent marketing copy. What it does for you is every single so one thing that we have as an issue, maybe as content creators, right, for ourselves, we have different voices. We can't maintain a particular brand voice or company voice, meaning the tone you're having for the post on Monday is according to your feeling. If you were excited on Monday, we'll see it in your post. If you were going to work, somebody drove car and splashed water on your body, we will see it in your post. Maybe that Tuesday you have posts like um driving high cars does not mean you have a high class, or does not mean you have a high mentality. You just something something to justify your expression, so we can tell. But what Jasper does for you is that it maintains your brand voice. So whether you're having a bad day or a good day, whether you're overfed or you're hungry, we can still see the same voice across board. All right. So if you are in that place that your post is determined by your feelings, please employ the service of an AI. Let's not see your feelings. Let people be able to look upon you and say, I didn't even know you were doing this. You're doing this. Oh my God, you're still meeting up. That should be what they should be saying about you. Now, reward time savings, right? 5 hours is saved weekly, but just by implementing smarter ways to work. So content creation with AI writing and design tools. Don't be ashamed to use AI to write. The only issue is don't let it be the only source, because some platforms, their algorithms don't favor AI. I can tell you, for example, LinkedIn as a platform doesn't generally favor AI. Of course, your content will go, but it won't go as far as it would have if it was human written. And of course, there are platforms like humanizers, right? So you don't have to write it yourself. When you have AI created it, you can use AI humanizers. You have AI humanizer.io, you have humanizer.io, and so many others, right? You can use these platforms to humanize your content and still get it that rich that you would have gotten if you wrote it yourself, right? 3 hours in a daily save on email management, right? The reason why I'm going to tell you about this tool is this tool does everything, like everything, right? Faster projects, 50% faster projects, automated workflows, and intelligent task routing, right? It's so easy, right? There's something I've been manually doing in my team, and I think I need to change that. So every single week we drop the tasks for the week, right? Oh, this is what we're doing on Craft and Scale this week. But I think I want everybody now to be automated, so they will get notifications on their emails. I do hope I have the time to set it up on their emails what the tasks are for the coming week. Why? Because of this tool that I have found. All right, 80% less admin. So there are some of you now that, because of the workload is so much, you just rush and go and get a virtual assistant that you can't afford, right? There's some things that these tools can help you to do for the time being. It's not forever. You obviously need people, right? So what I'm sharing, these aren't just numbers. They represent time returned in high value activities like strategy, creativity, and relationship building. So I'll pause here. I want to share something, one very important day to every single one of us. Now, we often think that more hands mean more work and more productivity, but that's not the case. I want to show you 5 companies that have the smallest teams in the world, but they are way richer than even companies that have bigger teams. Are you guys ready? If you're ready, tell me on the comment section. I am ready. I need 1, 2 responses so that I can be sure that you guys are ready to see these companies. Nobody's ready. Or we all just want to. Thank you, Precious. All right, fantastic. Thank you, Ifeanyi. All right, so company number 1. Are we ready? No, I can't. I don't even know why I haven't dropped this company. Okay, I think I've seen it. Okay. Company number 1 is Craigslist. How many of you know what Craigslist is? You know what Craigslist is? Tell me in the comment section. So Craigslist is a platform that connects people that are looking for jobs to jobs, people that have companies to collaborators to partners. It's a list actually. You can find companies there. If you want to go into tech, you can find companies on tech there. It's more than a list actually, but like it's a list nonetheless. So Craigslist has 50 employees. But guess what? They generate $1 billion every year with 50 people. That's not so alarming, not so serious. 50 people, that's a decent number. Instagram, before it was acquired by Facebook, had just 13 employees. And Instagram was bought by Facebook for $1 billion, meaning 13 people's inputs and, of course, intellectual property and other things were worth $1 billion. On this call, we are supposedly 17. Let's take out 4 note takers. We're 13. At 13 of us, at 13 of us on this call, what's $1 billion? Or do we think we need to be more to be able to be worth $1 billion? It's a food for thought. Oh, okay. You want the correct spelling. Okay, so Craigslist, this is what Craigslist is spelled. Craig, like the name Craig, then list, I believe. Yes, Craig's list. This Craigslist. All right. Then we have another platform. We have WhatsApp. Before WhatsApp was acquired by Facebook, right? WhatsApp had 55 employees, but they were acquired for $19 billion. Some of us are in companies right now that they are in debt and we're like 200 in the company. What are we doing? There's Built With. So Built With is a platform that it basically just helps you take charge of, I think it's product management, from product development, if I'm not mistaken, right? They have just one. They have one employee, just one. yet they generate $14 million yearly. Now, mind you, they could have associates and partners, but on paper, the person that is receiving salary from Built with monthly is one person. There is Mojang, right? So I don't know if you have ever played Minecraft, the game. Mojang are the people behind Minecraft, right? They were not the only ones that designed the game, but other people came to, but they were like the major people. So before Minecraft was bought by Microsoft, right? Mojang as a company was worth $2.5 billion, and they had just 37 employees. So if you're on this call and you're thinking, we're not doing so much because we're not so much in number, you're lying to yourself. You're working hard, you're working too hard. You need to start working smarter. As a resume writer, can I find people interested in my service there? I believe you can. I don't use Craigslist, right? It was for the sake of this session that I brought it, right? I believe you can. So you could check that out. But if you're looking for services, sorry, people that will be interested in your services, I'm not so sure a platform that bogus would be good. You want to also leverage platforms like Instagram. You have decent audience there. You just need to put in the work to be consistent in your posting and let Instagram do the trick for you. LinkedIn as well. All right. And so you work, so your smart work action plan, what does it mean? So for every single one of you on this call, you're going to tell me on the comment section, what tool are you picking from this session that you're going to be using now, right, going forward to aid the work that you do? We've mentioned so many, others shared some on the group chat, on the chat box. Tell us what tool you're going to be picking, right? And then another thing you would do is to list everything you do more than twice a week and find an automation option. This is after this call. This is for you to do, right? And then you want to measure impact on hours. So track your results and time saved. So when you have picked one tool, you have listed all the things you normally do more than twice a week, and you have now found an automation tool for them. Now check the time you're spending, right? Check the results you're getting rather using these tools and compare it to the results you were getting when you didn't have this tool. So tell me first of all on the comment section, what is the tool you're picking from today's session that you're going to be using? Okay, so I see Nzezi says most definitely Calendly and Zapier. Calendly is so sweet. Oh my God, you look so professional. Sometimes there's something we call Founders Friday here in Abuja, and I attend sometimes, right? And when I go and I meet people and I tell I'm a business consultant, and like, oh, let's talk. I said, no problem. We exchange phone numbers, and they're like, oh, when can we speak in the week? I'll just send them the link. And they click it and they're just saying, oh, he had 30 minutes on Monday to this on Tuesday. Say, lie, you have the whole day. But it makes me look, you get it? Fantastic. All right, so Calendly is fantastic, right? And Calendly connects to your Zoom as well as you can connect. I think it connects to your Zoom and it connects to your Google Calendar, Google Meet as well. I don't know if it connects to your Zoom. So it's automated. When they set up the session, it goes straight. And Calendly, you can use Calendly, the free version, for a while before getting the paid version. Just don't put too many meetings on it. Okay, I think the amazing name I joined when you were talking about AI used for reviewing books. Okay, so there are so many, right? There's Hemingway Editor. Hemingway, I don't know if you know the writer Hemingway, right? Yes, I believe they modeled it after him. There's Hemingway. There's WordTune, like Word. So Hemingway is spelled Heming, then Way, Way. Hemingway editor right now. There's WordTune, WORD, then Tune, TUNE. There is, of course, there's Grammarly, right? There's Qbot, or Qbot. I don't know how it's perfectly pronounced. Then there's this one I'm currently using. I'm trying to remember the name because I have so many. They're all plugins on my system, right? Okay, Truth says going to be using Midjourney. Yes, you're going to love Midjourney. You're going to love Midjourney, and I've shared the link so you can use those links to access. So I'll share the links again for those that are just joining us. It will tell you, oh, this is a platform. And this is the link to accessing this platform. So I'm going to share that of the script again. I'm going to share that of Midjourney, and you can join. Those of you on this call that are looking for jobs, you want to check a platform called Bubble AI. I can vouch for Bubble AI because I know the founder like one-on-one. Now, what Bubble AI does for you is this. Imagine a platform that you want to apply for a job. You just go there, fill a form, they generate a CV for you, generate a cover letter for you, and apply for the job as well in a twinkle of an eye. And even if the job is not on their platform, they give you a prompt. So when you go to the place where the job is, when you put that in the field you're supposed to fill, it automatically fills every single field for you and applies for the job. Crazy. Yes, it's called Bubble AI. There are two Bubble AIs on the internet, but please find the one that is owned by Nigeria. Check it on Instagram. I was trying to get their Instagram link, but I don't know that I got it here. So you can check them as well. Oh, please take it very serious. Take it very serious because the founder is a very serious person too. He's always on my neck because we work with them towards getting investors and all that stuff. So yes, their stuff is top notch, and the speed is premium. And with the free account, I think you can get at least you can apply for a few jobs before you have to pay for like the premium. Okay, how do you create note takers for a call like this one? Okay, so it is automatic. You first have to create a note taker account, right? And make sure that you schedule the meeting. When you schedule a meeting on Google Calendar and your Google Calendar is linked to your note taker, every single call they will come in unannounced, like they did today, all four of them. So it's that simple. Just create a note taker account. Firefly. So I'm saying it for Firefly's note taker. There's Nota, Nota AI, Otter AI, I can't remember, and there are many others. But for Fireflies, you can just create an account and link it to your Google Mail, and every meeting you're supposed to jump into, they come in and take the notes for you. And after the meeting, every single person that joined the call, they send an email across to them, like a feedback on that meeting, and you get the feedback as well immediately on your meeting. And it's nice. There's another one I'm trying to remember. This one segments what was said in the meeting into different categories per time. There's another one that actually puts the timestamps when these things were said. It's crazy. So you are everybody needs to get a note taker. This call. All right, please go ahead. Yes, I see your hands up. You can go ahead.
Oh, that was a mistake. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. So since nobody reminded me, and I'm so eager to share this AI with you guys, right? Before we call, when you see someone's Firefly is already telling us, oh, this is what the meeting has discussed, so far. All right. Yes, Firefly is it's instant. So the AI I want to tell you guys about is Perplexity. Sorry, Perplexify, right? If I'm not mistaken. Let me see, pronouncing it correctly. Sorry, Perplexity. Yes. Perplexity. Perplexity is, oh my God, it's amazing and it's so accurate. If you take a question on the internet and you jump in about it, it will explain to you why it's choosing that answer, right? And why other options are so wrong. Now, but guess what? That's not even what I want to share with you about Perplexity. Perplexity has launched something very crazy. It's their own browser. It's called Comet. Like, the Comet. Yeah, like a comet. So what it does for you is that it's every single thing. With Comet, you have an assistant. It's like a co-pilot. You have an assistant. From there, you can apply for jobs. You can use a voice automation and tell the assistant, please apply to this job on so tab. Oh, I've opened the job for ECOWAS on this tab. Please apply to the job with my CV. And it's asking which CV. You tell it the CV. It does that. Please schedule a meeting with this person with the email address. You drop it. It schedules it ASAP. Please remind me 1 month, 1 week, and 2 days to the meeting I have with Ann James. And it does that. So you want to get, so the beautiful thing about Perplexity, if you're a student on this call, you can get Perplexity for free for a month. And if you invite your friends consistently, this is me doing free paid ads, free ads, they're supposed to be paying me. Anyways, if you invite your colleagues that are students as well, for everybody that signs up, you get an extra 3 months, but it's capped at 24 months. And once you get access to Perplexity, they give you access to Comet for like a month. Comet is mind-blowing. I don't see how you will use that and don't want to pay for it. All right. So our time has been fast spent. I can take one question, and if you have another question, you can just easily send me a DM on LinkedIn and I'll attend to you. So one more. Okay, I think I answered one question originally. I've answered a few questions about the note taker Okay, you need links on note taker tools. Let me see if I can just get that of Fireflies and drop for you. Okay. Okay. Any questions while I'm trying to get the link for Michael? Okay. Sorry, the link is not fully loaded, so it's going to be a very bogus link, but when you click it, it's take you to Fireflies, more or less. All right. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? You guys, okay, I think a few of you share the tools you're going to be using after this session. So I see, let me see. Okay, I see Truth says going to be using Midjourney and Calendly. When we join another session, I'm going to ask you guys, right? Let me see if I can take snapshots so I have proofs as evidence. And I'll tell you, you said you're going to use this tool. You started using the tool, or do we need to call the police? All right. Who else? Ifeanyi said Calendly. Nzezi says Calendly. Who else? Who else hasn't shared? And have you not told us the tool you want to use? Okay, she says you're going to try Midjourney. Yes. Okay, the AI that connects plenty others. It's called Jasper. So there are multiple tools that do that. But I believe the one I shared on this session, I shared Jasper, but not Jasper. Jasper doesn't really connect so many. The one that connects so many should be Zapier. Yes. Zapier does that. ClickUp does that as well. So there's Zapier, there's ClickUp, and there's, of course, GitHub is not necessarily an AI, but it does that as well. Okay, so Micah is going to use Fireflies as well. All right, so thank you all, thank you all, thank you all. I see we don't have any more questions, and this is us pretty much done for the session. I'll hand over to the admin at this point before we call it a night.
Wow. That was mind blowing. As far as all the information, and I'm sure everyone will agree. I've heard more tools today than I've ever heard. So I'll be trying out a few of those myself. So just want to say thank you for another amazing session. For sure, everyone has a bit of takeaway from the session. So thanks, Gary. And we do have one more session for this week. Well, we might make it to happening tomorrow. So if you want to learn more about freelancing, we have Ines Okon who will be joining us. Eunice, I should say. She'll be joining us and taking us through 10 lessons that she has learned as a freelancer. So if you're into freelancing, it's not one to miss. So I think that's a wrap for today, and we hope to bring you back, Gary, for more amazing sessions. Thanks everyone, and
look forward to coming back as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks everyone, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.